My name is Woo. This right here is my boy Blaq. And we came up with underrated, you know what I'm saying? Underrated records.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We got it on the chain. Like,
And we're back. Welcome back to No Sympathy for Kings, a Rich Man's podcast. Today I have two very special guests, both two rappers, musicians hailing from Texas. We have none other than Blaq and Woo of Underrated Records. How you guys doing today?
Doing all right.
doing
Good,
well,
good,
doing well.
good. Glad to hear it. Good to meet you. So let me see here. I know your publicist. I know a lot more about Woo than I do about Blaq. So Blaq, you're a big mystery man. So I might prod you a little bit more.
All right. That's fine. Very well.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Woo, I know you're from Garland, Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't know a lot about Texas geography. Where is Garland like in relation to, I guess, some of the larger cities like Austin or Houston or wherever?
Garland is in Dallas.
Mm,
It's in Dallas County, right on the edge of the Dallas jurisdiction. So
gotcha.
if if I'm in Austin, people ask me where I come from, or I'm from Houston. People ask me where I'm from. I'm gonna say Dallas, just because it's right there.
Hmm. Okay, cool. And where are you from, Black?
I'm from Cedar Hill, Texas. It's on the other side of the outskirts of Dallas as well.
Okay, okay.
hmm
All right,
Yeah,
gotcha. Okay,
he on the south side. I'm on the east.
gotcha, gotcha. And did you guys know each other before music?
Yeah, most definitely. We met at PV at college or school. Yeah,
Okay. What'd you guys go to school for?
I went to go play basketball, um, and I went to business management. Went for business management.
Okay,
Yeah, I was business management too.
okay. Did you guys finish?
Nope.
I got I got my associate's degree when I
Okay,
came back home. Yeah, so I have an associate's in management, but didn't really
I
get to
got two
finish that
years of
program.
school.
okay. Are you guys planning on finishing, or are you just focused on other things right now?
Well,
I'm not worried about that little paper.
Okay, all
I
right.
feel I feel like the associates really taught me the basis for what I'm like the business side of what I'm trying to do, but it's more of the basic knowledge that you can gain from experience, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I
Exactly.
agree. Like, there's a litany or myriad of like things that you just learn from experience that you just really can't learn at school. Like I'm one of those guys. I went to the workforce first after high school, and then
Right.
I went back to school some years later. And I'm still in school now. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but it actually school is kind of easier once you have the experience, man. Because then
Yeah.
the curriculum doesn't seem so jarring, because you're
Right.
familiar with like
Right.
the terrain and the terminology and all that stuff.
Right.
Okay. I know, Woo, you just celebrated a birthday recently. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah, appreciate that.
No doubt, man, no doubt. You're 24?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Black, how old are you, man?
25.
24? Okay, okay. Some young bulls coming out the gate. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Black, I was asking you, just give me a quick rundown, who you are, talk about your music a little bit, where you're from, or, everything. Well, talk about your life before music, I should say.
Okay.
Give me a little
Okay.
background on it.
So I mean, it's funny because my life before music still involved music, so it's crazy. But basically, I'm from, like I said, City Hill, Texas. I live with my grandparents. Um, you know, was basic kid. I never really I wasn't no knucklehead or nothing. Wasn't getting in trouble. So I played sports. That was my thing. I played basketball, football, and that was just like basically the things that I did. I also like my uncle had a record label growing like when I was growing up, and he signed a lot of artists from Dallas. So he basically was my doorway into music because I had never been around that kind of experience before, you know. So he's doing that, and it's like me staying with his like I used to go to his house every weekend, so I'd be at his house, and we're just going to the studio and radio stations and all that, and just seeing all that always was something that I was like, wow, I really want to like I want to do this, you know. And
Yeah.
it's like it was always just like some on the inside though. So I really used to like just write in my notebooks, like just write, like, you know, in class, you know, I was me, like the average cliche story. That was kind of me. Like I wrote in class, you know, like I always just writing raps, but I wasn't letting people hear it. That was crazy. Like, and my people kind of like, you know, they're very aggressive people. So one day, you know, they just was like, "What's in this book?" You know, they see me carrying this book around, so they start just reading my stuff, and it's like, you're a rapper," you know what I'm saying? So it's like. It's like, yeah, I guess I am, and that was like that's where it started. Then after they kind of forced me to admit it, it was like, okay, let's hear some. You know, my uncle took me to the studio for the first time, and I was able to start rapping and recording and doing all this about 16. So 16 is kind of the year that I was officially rolling with it, and that's how I got started before. And then fast forward, I met the guy that owns the studio at Danger Room Studios. That's the studio that we record out of. We've been recording out for years, and basically they're part of my team. And we met on my 16th birthday through Candy. My that's my cousin as well. So she's like she does our PR, but she's also my cousin. So she's been instrumental in my career too. Like she helped me link up with Chuck, and Chuck let us use the studio. He believed in the vision, and it just grew. It was before it was underrated. It was before really Blaq was Blaq, you know. So
Hmm.
these are the things that the puzzle pieces that came together for me. And then I went off to college, and I had no access to studios and recording, and I just kind of like I felt like at that point that was the stagnant area for me because it was like I had no access to what I really want to do. And I like school, but I wanted to do music, you know, like that's my love. And it's kind of like I had to stop one, so I just stopped music. Then I met Woo, of course, like along that time. And when I first met Woo, it's funny because the first day I met Woo, my friends we had mutual friends, so we all link up, and they're like, "Hey, put a beat on," because they knew I could rap, and I hadn't rapped for a minute. I don't know how it went. I'm just skipping through. You know, we ain't got all day. But basically, you know, so we was riding in a car. I know we was riding in a car somewhere, and they said put a beat on. I didn't ask for a beat to get put on, and I just put the beat on. And I rapped over it, and that's what we was. You know what I'm saying? Is that not accurate, sir?
That's
So
not accurate. It's like
yeah,
90%.
yeah. So that's just the quick version. But yeah, so
Yeah.
and the rest is history. You know, the rest is we're here.
History,
Okay.
bro.
All right.
Yeah,
So you're so you're always kind of like musically inclined because of your upbringing and everything. Okay.
definitely.
So now, well, I know you initially started in gospel, right?
Hmm.
Okay. And then you transitioned into rap. So tell me a little bit about your background, man.
Um, so I was in gospel. I was playing the drums at my church as soon as I was like able to hold the stick. So I was always around music growing up. My parents had a band and they called it Charity, and I was like itching to be the drummer because their drummer, he was trash, and I knew I was better than him. I was just young. I was too young. But when I got old enough, I started beating on them drums. Everybody know who Charity was. They said, "Oh, they got the little young drummer." That was me. I'm him. You know what I'm saying? But other than music, like my growing up, I really thought I was going to go to the NBA. I promise you. I'm
Hmm.
strong minded and strong headed about that one. I was really good. And then I tore my ACL and my meniscus in senior year. So I sat out that the rest of that year. We still went to the playoffs and everything, but my coaches and everybody like took my confidence away from me, made me seem like I couldn't hoop or no more. You know what I'm saying? There was real. it was real toxic. It was very toxic. But I went
Yeah.
to PV to rejuvenate myself because I knew I was going to just be able to walk on because I was just that good, honestly speaking. But the way I met Chris, everything happened around 2016. Um, I kid you not, I had the last room, the last dorm or whatever living space on and off campus, and I just so happened to meet his people because his friends was my roommates, and one of old my hometown friends, I grew up with him in the Boys and Girls Club. So one of my partners was his partner, and that's how we linked up, bro. That was cool. So we hopped in the Charger. We was finna go to Walmart, and then he had hopped in the car last, so he had sat by me. I'm the young dude, so I'm young boy. I'm in the middle seat, in the back seat, I'm in the middle. So he hopped in. Our partner Mike had put on Still Tipping. He was like, "Hey, Breezy, what's good? You gonna let me hear something?" He started spitting. So and he was just freestyling like, bro, I ain't never heard nobody freestyle like this before. Like this nigga cold, no cap.
Hmm.
But then after that, we had fun in college. He said he liked school too. I like school for all the other wrong reasons outside of school. I had a blast.
Okay.
Then I got sent to Michigan. Then I came back to go to his first concert for real. And then he was like, bro, just pull up to the stoop. And I was like, all right, bet. Because I always used to go around the UC and the phases just singing and stuff. So I pulled up to the stoop. And the rest was history for real. Now you see me right here.
Okay. Cool. So, so I guess for each of you, with varied circumstances, at some point, you took a shot at school and kind of realized it wasn't for you and decided you wanted to make music professionally. And is this kind of like is this like your full time thing right now, or do you have like other things going on outside of music?
Me personally, we for sure have other endeavors. We can't not keep ourselves afloat right now. You know what I'm saying? Um, we
Yeah.
have the time and we have all the resources we need to keep our minds in music though while we still make a living,
Okay. All right.
until
So
this starts.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're living a normal, regular life, and you're making
Right,
music,
right,
and
Right,
you're on the ascension. You're on the rise. You're working toward getting to where you can
right.
do it full time.
hmm
Gotcha. No, that's
And the main goal with that, that's actually why we started the label. I feel like it would give
hmm
us a push to
Big push.
be more serious. And it's like, okay, because it's not just us anymore.
It ain't just
It's
us.
not just, yeah.
We
So
got a
now it's
crew.
like we got people depending on us to make
Keep
these
going.
things happen and make these things like you said, stay afloat. So where
okay.
it's yeah.
So you two,
So
you two run or own the label Underrated?
correct.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're like co-CEOs?
hmm
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. How many artists are on the label besides you two?
It's it's two other actually. I'm sorry, I
It's
said three. I
two,
count
and then
Woo.
it might be one more. Look, it might be one
Yeah,
more. He on the track
Okay.
now.
yeah,
Are they rappers
yeah.
or singers or what?
Yes, we have
Both,
we
all
have
three of them rappers
both
for
are
real.
rappers. Yeah, and it's just every artist on our roster is a different vibe. Like
Different.
that's exactly how I like it because it's like we have Miss Sheila Nicole. She is a lyricist, man.
She
She
cold.
reminded me like when I first heard her rap, she sounded like Biggie. Like,
Hmm.
and I ain't never heard nobody's, and I'm a big hip hop fan. Like I study it. So yeah,
I second that.
when I heard her for the first time, I thought she was from New York. She was like, I'm from Oak Cliff.
Okay.
That's around the
Okay.
corner. Yeah. And then we have
Okay.
Nine. He's from Houston, and he's that new age rapper that trippy red that like that whole mosh pit type
Yeah.
situation. So
Uh,
whatever they
yeah,
okay,
call
kind
it.
of like that, like rage rap culture.
Rage.
correct. There you go. I couldn't
Okay,
think of it. Yeah, and
shaking his
yeah,
dreads, and,
yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Got you. Yeah, that's going right now. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Now, you guys, what's the infrastructure like with from a business perspective? Do you guys got like you got paperwork, you got LLC and that stuff set up, or is it just kind of like verbal?
Right now
It's
we're
verbal, but we're
yeah
LLC at the end of February.
yep
Okay, okay,
we're in the
good. When did
yeah
you
we
guys start?
already say again.
When did you start the label?
It really started
A couple months ago.
officially a couple months ago.
Okay, so this is all
hmm It's
new.
fresh. Yes,
Very,
Mm-hmm.
it's fresh.
it's a baby at this point.
A
Got
hundred
you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
percent.
Oh yeah, okay, good. Well, you're headed in the right direction. Yeah, get that paperwork together, get everything
Yes,
Definitely,
right.
sir.
They'll come in handy
definitely.
later. Yeah, get that LLC going. All right,
Yes,
cool.
sir.
All right, so let me see. What were your earliest musical influences? Will, you can go first.
My earliest music influences, um, just being in, gospel, seeing other drummers drumming, they was actually cold, so it made me want to get better in that.
hmm what kind
I
of
ain't never
art?
really.
What are some of your favorite artists? That's what I meant.
Oh, my favorite artist,
Yeah.
um, all time or just like right now?
Well, in the beginning, like you see here, I have a picture of the King, Biggie Smalls here. He was my earliest
Okay,
musical influence when I was a kid
got you.
growing up. So I was wondering,
Well,
like, what were some of your favorite artists before, you know?
my favorite artist, if I'm gonna go back, I used to be in gospel, so my favorite artist was Fred Hammond, and how his live performances were always crazy, and his band and his choir was always on point. Like
Yeah.
it was amazing. But my favorite hip hop artist, I grew up listening to Wiz Khalifa and Lil Wayne, and I'm gonna throw a splash of Future in there with the Plutos. But it was really Lil Wayne and Wiz. That was a
hmm
very pinnacle parts of my
Okay.
life because yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear that in your music a little bit, like because your music in particular was very melodic. I noticed. Like I was
Mhm.
listening to Mood a few times earlier
Mhm.
today, and I definitely hear like that Wiz Khalifa kind of cadence, because he's like very melodic, because he likes to carry a tune and then come with the bars and everything. Okay.
Mhm.
And you said these influences came to you at like a pivotal time in your life. You were about to say.
Say what it's on.
I think you were about to say that these influences like Wiz and Wayne and them came to you at a pivotal time in your life.
Yeah, just like me actually being able to listen to hip hop now. You know what I'm saying? Like I never had a phone back in the day that was compatible to so so when I started having computer class, I started going on YouTube. I'm looking up Wayne and Wiz Khalifa videos and in a computer class, and I was like, bro, this is cool. Like these people are outside like they're on jet planes.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne, he coming out the what you call it, whatever type of what I ain't gonna call it an SUV, whatever they're you go in and change the fitting room driving
RV.
automobile. The
Yeah, the
No.
RV, he
RV.
stepping at the RV a milli. Oh my God, that was
Yeah.
just crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. I remember that time when Weezy was kind of like he kind of like caught his second wind in his career because Wayne's like he's got like two or three generations of hip hop under him.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I was a little kid when the Hot Boys were a thing. I was in my
Mhm.
middle school or whatever, and then when the first Carter hit, I was in high school, and I was like, okay, Wayne found himself a new sound. He could
Mhm.
hit a maturation, and then he just took off after like Carter two, and then
Mhm.
Carter three, he was just here. You know what I'm saying? He was just like the
No
biggest
cap.
rapper on the planet. I think my favorite project from him is still between Carter three and Dedication two. Like, what's your favorite Weezy
Dedication.
project?
Mine was I might have to go with um I'm not a human being because
Okay.
them songs on there, they were going crazy.
Maria. Yeah,
No cap, no cap.
yeah, got you. What about you, Black? What were some of your earliest musical influences?
Um, Like you, now I got a picture of mine, Tupac back here. Tupac was there. Um, Dr. Dre got him on the wall. So I got all mine on the wall just so I can
Yeah.
remember. So Dr.
Yeah.
Dre, I got myself right here, and then Ice Cube and Big Sean. Like
Okay.
those those artists for me was like, and I thought I gotta throw Jay-Z in there too because
Okay.
each artist taught me something different. I can honestly say, like with me, because my people were into music, like in the hip hop labels and all that. When people told me to go back and actually study hip hop before you say you want to do something. You know, it's kind of like before you want to play basketball, you should know the rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That way you don't go
Yeah.
out there and make a fool of yourself. And that was kind of one of the things my people taught me. So me, I went all the way back to the beginning to the first rap song, and then I worked my way back up.
Okay.
And so my music discography, Woo can tell you, like, is up there. Like, I got some knowledge from mine because I really studied this because it was something I wanted to do. So, I mean, I put the extra work in. So, those
Mm-hmm.
artists are just like that I can just pick out. I could really get artists from almost every generation, though. But those are just my main ones, like Tupac
Okay.
and Tupac, really. He's just like, he was the artist for me because he actually could do it all, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. He's very versatile and like you felt what he said. You know what I'm saying? He had a
Yeah.
very emotional delivery. You know that
Hmm.
resonated with the audience in a big way.
Hmm.
Um, my favorite Tupac record is still "Me Against the World" is still my favorite project from him because that was
Yeah.
before the death row stuff and
Yeah.
everything when he was still kind of like I
Yeah.
guess a
Yeah.
little less aggressive. You know what I'm saying?
My actual favorite album from Tupac was Me Against the World, honestly. Like I felt like 'cause I just listened to that one. That was one I just listened on repeat, and it was like it gave you a different vibe, like the whole different vibe.
Hmm.
So like
Yeah.
it made me want to
Outlaw.
be it made me want to be a better rapper too.
Hmm.
Because the album,
Hmm.
like you said, it wasn't just on some hard aggressive stuff. You was like, he actually was talking some talking on it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was going through like a really deep depression. I remember "So Many Tears." That was a beautiful
Yeah,
song. He had the song for the ladies. He had uh, "Can You Get Away." That was a
yeah,
good one. "Outlaw," of
Temptation.
course. Yep. "If
Yeah,
I Die Tonight."
hmm,
"Old School."
yeah. Old
"Memories."
school is crazy. Yeah,
I love that album, man. I might have to. I might have
yeah,
to, might have to toss that in the deck tonight.
yeah. Not
Okay.
for real.
So you're still relatively new to like the industry stuff. I was gonna ask you, like, do you have like any crazy like music industry stories yet under your belt?
Oh yeah, definitely. Actually, I want to tell that story when we was in California. Woo.
Which one? Which one?
So I'm just gonna tell the story. So
Baby.
I think this is one of the craziest ones. Now, Woo know I like to speed stories up. He gonna tell me I left something out. But the basis of this thing is we went out to Cali like what was it, in March last year? It was around March, and we were going to do a couple features with a couple artists out there, and we we knocked all the business side out. We were then we just started having fun. So we were hanging out in Pasadena, just having fun, and we get to the point where we were like we were looking for something to eat. And one of our friends that's in the Navy, he was basically gonna be a DJ too. So he's driving around, he driving us around, and we get to the point where we're looking for this restaurant, and I don't know like what the specifics of it was, but we basically looked it up and we got there, and we were gonna go in, and we got to the door. Well, he got to the door first, and he was asking. It was two people sitting in front of the restaurant, and so he stopped and was like, "Hey y'all, this good? Is the food good in here?" And they was like, "Yeah, it's good." And then me and Woo, we always be hanging in the back. We was drinking a little bit, so we was still a little feeling good. So we get over to the door with him, and we was laughing because he was like, "What are you doing?" Like he was just talking to him, and then like out of nowhere, he just stops and was like, "Oh my God." Like he just stopped. He was like, "Oh my God." He was like, "What's the dude name?" I don't know. He asked him, he's so
Bro,
and so from On My Block. Like it's the
some
Netflix show.
Martinez.
It's a Netflix show called On My Block, and I mean, only
Rudy
only
Martinez.
Rudy
Rudy
Martinez.
Martinez.
Yeah, he's like, "Are you Rudy Martinez from On My Block?" And the dude is just like, "Yeah." So he meet the dude from On My Block. The problem is, I ain't never seen On My Block.
Mm-mm, me
I've
neither.
seen it on Netflix, but I never watched it.
I ain't
So
never
we
seen it.
still,
What's on my block?
it's
So,
Bro, it's
I
some
still
Netflix.
haven't watched it. It's
We
a
don't know.
Netflix show, but every female in the world knows what On My Block is. I'm guaranteeing. So
okay.
like, you can ask any woman. I'm pretty sure she'll tell you what On My Block is, or not a teenager for sure. Because I know my little sister, she knew what it was, and she knew who the dude was. I didn't know who this guy was. So we all sitting here like, who is this? And his name Key, our friend Key, just like he's spazzing out. He's like, oh my God. He asked him for a picture. Like, can I get a picture? And the dude was like, nah, not right now.
Like,
Like he, I don't know what he said. It was just funny. I just know he was spazzing out because he seen the dude from On My Block, and we was like,
bro
"Who
was
is this?"
starstruck.
And basically, yeah, he was just starstruck about seeing the dude from On My Block. Because out there in Cali at that point, restaurants weren't allowing people to sit on the inside because of COVID, so everybody just outside. So he just like he seen one of his favorite actors, I guess, and he was finna lose his mind.
Hey, okay, you fumbled that story, my boy.
It don't even matter.
Golly.
It don't even matter because
All right.
at the
Give me
end of the day,
Golly.
all
it
right. Let's
wasn't
see the
even
other
that big
face.
of a.
What's the other face of that pyramid? Well, what's the other side? What's the other part of that story we're missing?
I'm gonna give you how it really happened, man. So everybody, first of all,
We ain't got all day though.
look, first of
Remember
all,
that.
my partner DJ Keith picked us up from the airport in a minivan. Come on, bro. A
You got
minivan with the sliding door. I'm in the
you gotta
back.
add
I've
that. You
been in
gotta
the
add
back
that
the
in there.
whole trip. I
Yeah,
had
it's a
to.
comfortable ride, man. The minivans.
Nah, it was cold.
Oh,
It
really?
was very cold.
Oh,
Anyway, Black was in the front in the passenger seat. I was in the back. So he took his time getting out. I was waiting my turn to get out. He was in front of me. Boom, I'm stumbling to this mud because I'm like 3 shots in. I done got me some red wine. I'm lit. I ain't gonna count. So I'm
okay.
hearing what's going on. My partner Key talking about, hey yo, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm in the bother y'all, but y'all know if this food good. The girl was like, oh yeah, it's good, but it's closed. He was like, oh dang. Then he must have turned to the right. He was like, oh my God, oh my God. And then he was like, you you Ruby Martinez from On My Block? He was like, yeah, that's me. He said, oh my God, oh my God. My partner, our videographer, Brandon, he was like, all right, calm down, Keith. Just go. They don't like it when you spaz. He was like, bro, I just want to get a picture. He talking about some, bro, just let's go. Key was like, all right, well, that's why your girl died. And then we was like, what the? Like,
Yeah.
what made you say that, bro? Ah, that's what happened, bro.
I forgot about that. That's why your girl
Bro,
died.
bro, he said that's why he didn't say your girl. He said the B word. I ain't
Yeah,
know.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
yeah. He was mad.
Yeah.
He wanted
Disrespect.
the picture real
He just
bad.
wanted a
He
picture
gonna
real bad.
downplay. He gonna downplay it to this day. We know what happened, Keith. If you watching this, we know what happened.
That's funny, man. That's an interesting story, man. Okay, cool. Um, can you talk to me a little bit about like the creative process for each of you? Like, what's the recording process like? Do you guys just do you just book studio time and just go in there and write and create? Do you write to beats ahead of time? Do you start with the lyrics and then put it to beats after?
I
I'll let
mean,
you go.
I was about to say, typically I've done all of those before, but now my new favorite is because me and Woo, we have a group dynamic now. We go by underrated. Like when we mesh together, when me and Woo work together, we are underrated. But then when we're separate, so we do our own thing. But Blaq personally, I like to work as like we have an in-house producer named Dre,
Mm-hmm.
Chef Boyard Dre.
Shit, boy, I
He
Dre, Super Dre,
he
super producer.
basically will go in with us and just be like, what's the vibe today? We find whatever vibe we want, and he just starts cooking. When he starts cooking, I'm already just writing in my head, like
Oh, we
they
freestyling.
know, oh, we freestyling, he said. So we freestyling. If we catch a freestyle real quick, okay, so yeah, he know this is going. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes, and honestly, there's been some times where it's like he made the beat and I might have had a hook I already wrote.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it just however we go. But the main way we typically create while we're there. So soon we get in the lab, we come in there, we might joke a little bit, get some food, get DoorDash. While that food on the way, he's cooking up, and we already got by the time that everything get there, shoot, we got a whole song, you know. So it's because it
Mhm.
don't really take that long to write.
It don't take long
Like
at
for
all,
us, it
bro.
don't take long. Like we got into a point where it's like we know our limits, we know what we can and can't do. If we trying something new, it might take a little bit longer. But other than that, like we just got a groove, and it's something that I enjoy. Like like I said, I've been working with the same people for years, so it's like we know each other now, you know. They're
Mhm.
like, and then Wu coming into the fold, like he came into the fold a couple years ago. They know him now. Like we all got to the point. It's like there's no like when you like it's only like when we work with new people. So like if we're ever outside, like I said, we went to Cali, work with different producers out there. They don't know how we operate. We don't know how they
Right.
operate. So it's like that's the only time it takes. Like the creative process kind of gets mixed around, you know. But when
Yeah.
we're at home, like I said, we got that home court advantage. We love it. We go in there and just vibe off each other.
Okay. Now, do you guys? So you go to? Do you work more in the studio or off the laptop at the crib, man?
Oh,
We in the
we go to
stoop.
the school.
We go
Yeah,
to the lab.
yeah.
We in the
Yeah.
gym.
I
Okay.
think the only thing I've done, like honestly, they laugh at me all the time. I tell them like I wrote some of my best stuff in traffic. Like
Okay.
some of our best hooks have come from me from
Have
being in
come
traffic.
from traffic, bro.
And I
How does
told them
that
one
work?
time,
Like
I
you're like
wrote this
stuck
in
in
traffic.
traffic, or you're just like
I'm
you?
stuck in traffic, and I'm just listening to beats because I get bored quickly. Woo know like me and him kind of the same on these instances. Like we listen to music all day, so it's
Mm-hmm.
like
Mhm.
I got my headphones in, or I'm in my car. I got it on my Bluetooth, and I'm just stuck in traffic, and I'm just like, this is boring. I don't want to hear the radio. I kind of even want to. I don't even want to hear our music. I don't
People.
want to hear nothing.
I
I just want
don't
to
know
hear
had
Yeah.
beats.
nobody on nothing.
I don't want to hear nothing. So I just put beats on, and like I told them the first time I did it, I thought I just got lucky. But then it was like I did it again, and I was like, I think traffic might be my place for hooks, bro. Like I started being in traffic more, and I'm
No
like,
cap.
every time I drive, or just being in the car, I guess. So sitting in the car, I'm just thinking I'm driving. I'm like, listening to the beat. I'm like, oh, that sounds hard. Let me turn that back in. And then I link with Woo and be like, hey, Woo, listen to this hook I did. He either gonna say, nah, that ain't it, or nah, that's fine. I'm like, cool. Hey, man, it's been some. He told me that ain't it. He's like, go back and think about it again. I go back in the car, get back in the drive. I'll be like, all right, I fixed it. He be like, that's it, my boy.
Uh, okay. Well, be careful with that, man.
Oh no, I mean it's like I'm not writing. I'm in my head thinking out loud. Then
Yeah.
I kind of keep it in my head for the longest, and then I'm like, all right, I go home and write it down.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
It's just a good place. Like I said, it's kind of like they say sometimes you gotta drive, put a baby to sleep. Like they drive
Mm-hmm.
around, so I drive
Yeah.
around, get my mind clear.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I totally understand that, man. Like
Yeah,
some of the best moments you have are when you just like you're riding around. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You don't have to be anywhere. You just kind of vibing,
yeah,
trying to clear your head.
Cruising.
right,
You know, get yourself in a good space. Okay.
definitely.
For sure. Okay. Now, I meant to ask you. Now, Woo, how'd you come up with your name, man? Because when I hear Woo, I'm from Cleveland, and I always associated Woo like embalming fluid. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's smoking that Woo.
That's
But
Smoking
crazy.
at the
That's the first
woo.
time I heard that one.
yeah,
Nah,
yeah,
for real.
I'm gonna
I'm an
use that.
old school Midwesterner, man. So that's what we call it up here. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming it's a
That's
different meaning for
crazy.
y'all.
Okay. No, my mama just gave me the nickname for real, and
Yeah.
everybody called me Woo, so I just ran with it.
Okay. How'd you
Hmm
come up with the name Woo?
I kind of don't want to tell it.
Oh.
I don't
Just, come on, bro, tell them.
know for real, but like, something I was doing when I was a little baby when I was like asking for food. I don't know. You ain't finna have me on here looking for food, trying to.
Up to you, man.
But yeah, just know I got it from my mama, man. My
Okay.
nickname is Wooda, and some people call me Woo. Most people call me Woo. Ladies be calling me Woo Woo.
Mm-hmm.
Woo Woo. That's how it go.
Okay. And Black, I'm just gonna assume your complexion played into your name.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just yeah. It was a thing. Like I had choosing a name was the hardest thing for me, bro.
Yeah.
Cause like I went through 5, 6 names honestly that I will not disclose either because
For real?
they were yeah. I ain't tell you.
Man,
I
I
never
ain't even know
told you.
about that.
I know. Anybody
That
that
was
was
no fun.
Chuck knew because I had a different name when I met him. Uh,
That's crazy.
so basically, I went through like 3, 4 names, and it was because at first I was hiding the fact that it was me. So the other names was far off. I chose some names because, well, no, I'm a pretty private dude. I try not to. I would be putting myself out there like that. But I think when I got to Black. Black was me. So
Yeah.
it was like I was finally happy because it was like I think it was the day I was like, I don't want to be none of those other names. What can I be? What can I be? And one of the dudes that we know from PV when we was out there, he was he talking about Miles.
Hmm
He said, bro, you black, like you dark, like like won't you just be black, bro? I said, I said, uh, I don't want to spell it like the regular way. Then he was like, put a Q on it. And I was like, when I seen it, like when I actually wrote it down and I seen it, I said, I like that, black, you know?
Black
And
Queen.
Black Queen, I tell everybody it's French. It's like, and then when I hit it, it's like when I hear it, then I heard other people say it. I tell people, it's like, okay, yeah, that's stuck. It's stuck. So I like it. I told everybody, I said one day I was gonna take a negative and turn it to a positive, and that was my thing with black because everybody call me black, of course, like you said, being a dark skinned guy. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Like every guy I knew with your complexion. Well, not every guy, but a lot of guys I knew growing up, man, that were your complexion and your size. Like, what up, Black? You know what I'm saying? It's just, it works. It sticks.
yeah, I like it now. It's like it's
It is
cool
what
to
it is,
me.
my boy.
So it's
Yeah.
cool to
Ain't nothing
me.
wrong with it, man. Black is
Ladies love.
beautiful.
Hey, I tell you how the dark skin guy told you, ladies love us dark skin cats, man.
Hmm
So,
That they
so
do. That's
Hey,
easy.
so you know,
Now, what do you guys think about like the state of hip hop today? Just being like young rappers coming up and having seen like what rap was when you were younger to where it is today. Because I find myself questioning like, is it like safe to be a rapper today with all that's going on between just like the hip hop police, the task force, man, all these brothers either going to jail or meeting their demise and in an unnatural way. Like, what are your thoughts and feelings about like the state of like the culture in hip hop today?
want to start with?
Yeah.
Any minute, money, mo.
All right,
All right, bet
I'm
I'll start. The state of the culture is it is what you make it. You make your own bed. You lay in it. If you out here preaching that you do this and that and the third, that and that and the third gonna come back to you, and you gonna have to
Mhm.
deal with it. Um, you put out what you get back. You'll get back what you put out
yeah,
for real. So,
yeah.
um, but honestly, I was watching this. What was it? I think it was watching a million. I was watching $1 million worth of game podcast. It was either Ice Cube just last night,
It's a great
or
podcast.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
Gilly
was
and
somebody
Wallow,
else.
man, they be bugged out, man.
Nah,
Yeah,
for
they
real.
funny for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
But it was somebody, and they were saying that it was like the world though they're more inclined to. Yeah, it was Ice Cube. They're more inclined to listening to the wrongdoings of the world. That's what they like to gravitate to,
Yeah.
just because they're not used to that. It's something to talk about. It's different, and they can go tap in and see how they feel and see why the people kind of glorify it just by other people's music and videos and stuff like that. So you are what you preach. I can say that for
Mhm.
sure.
I also feel like it's needed. It's needed. Like, cause one thing Ice Cube even said this back in the day. If anybody knows where like the actual artists are coming from, 9 times out of 10, most artists are just vocalizing what they've seen. Not 100% of them are vocalizing what they've done. You know,
Right.
and that's the thing that people have to realize. Like me being an artist, coming to realizing a lot of things. Rap music, hip hop music has changed drastically because 99% of the rappers from the, let's say, the 90s were 100% different from the rappers from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? And then the
Yeah.
rappers
Hmm.
from the 90s were 100% different from the rappers from the early 2000s. They will even say the rappers from the early 2000s are different from the rappers of now. So it's like when you look at that dynamic, there's always been a change that's been changing.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like it's kind of like really it's in music in general because I seen a post on Instagram. They had a picture of the Isley brothers and the way that they were dressed, and they were like, "Y'all call new rappers this, and this, and talk about the way that they dress, and look how they were dressed." And somebody was like, "Those same men will whoop you though," you know.
They'll
Yeah.
It's
slice
like
you up, boy.
it's like
Hmm.
it's like oh, but and that's the difference. It's like those
Right.
men would versus we see what's gonna happen now. You know, it's like we're in an
Yeah.
era and I say this all the time because we know I preach about this all the time. We're in an era of smoke and mirrors, right?
Mhm.
If you can validate something with an Instagram or validate something with a picture, a post, you're up.
Instagram got your bid.
If you
Hmm.
can't validate yourself through, look at this. Now this is not for validation. I like Jerry, Woo like Jerry, like, but a person would be like, "Oh, you rap, don't you?" Versus if I took it off, no watches, put my chains up. I'm just a normal cat, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, I realized that's hip hop for us today. And it's like us being artists, we always try to, like Wu said, preach what we preach what we do. And it's like there's no lie, like in the music, but at the same time, like I keep telling him, we also have to live what we preaching. So that's another reason why we're doing community work. We out in the community because that's the small steps that most rappers skip over because like you don't have to be a gangster to get respect where you from. You know,
Yeah,
No cap.
you don't have to be too tough all the time. You can show moments
yeah,
of I'm a normal guy. So that's one of the things that we are 100% trying to push that narrative because hip hop, that's the narrative that hip hop won't show unless, you force that narrative because
mhm,
everybody wants to just be tough guys and, like you said, push narratives that they are gangsters and, want to get, everybody,
yeah.
you don't even have to do all that, you know?
Yeah, like there's still plenty of rappers that push street content out there, but like
Yeah,
that gangster rap era is done. You know,
100%.
yeah. To your point, like there've been several different waves of hip hop over the last 40 or 50 years now.
Right.
It started as kind of like barbecue music,
Yeah.
kind of like party music, with
Hmm.
Bismarck Key and
Yeah.
all those cats,
Hmm.
back in the '80s. Then it, graduated to the gangster rap era in the late
Yeah.
'80s with NWA and all them. But there was still like a balance there with
Hmm.
like rapping for the ladies like LL Cool J and them back in the day
Right.
and all them. And then gangster rap took over. I want to say from like '88, '89 up until probably the early 2000s. I
Yeah.
want to say.
Yeah.
And in the early 2000s, it was like commercialized rap.
Exactly.
It was just like a lot of commercialized rap, about popping bottles,
Out
popping models and all
promoting promoting
that. Yeah,
champagne.
yeah, throwing
Yeah.
all that stuff that they all realize now that it's like, we was on some bullshit back then.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
then the dance records became a thing like in '04, '05, '06 when the
Yep.
South started like really taking over with like
Yep.
Lil Jon and the Yin Yang Twins, and
Yep.
also the Texas rap too was taking over at that time too with all that Southern smoke. Man, there's a lot of door
Mm.
swinging. There's a lot of syrup drinking. Whether it was the Swisher House Cats with Paul
Right.
Wall, Millionaire, Zero. Guys that are still making music today. Well, Millionaire's
Yeah.
not making music today, but those other guys I mentioned are. And then around the 2010s, it was like Revenge of the Nerds. You had B.O.B., you had Charles
Yeah.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
Um, Wiz was kind of like the new stoner kid on the block.
Yeah.
You had like the up and coming like top tier lyricists like J. Cole, Kendrick, and
Yeah.
them came in around
Kendrick.
that time.
Yeah.
Big Sean came in around that time. Meek came in around that time with the street content.
Yeah.
And now it's kind of like you can be whatever, you can put out whatever you want, man, and then you're gonna find an audience. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So
TikTok.
yeah, be, very conscious of the energy you push out in there and be prepared for the energy that comes back. So I'm glad
Exactly.
that you guys have like that awareness about you.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So before we wrap, man, top five dead or alive, each of you.
I'll let you
Top
go.
five. I
Hmm.
got my list ready. Top five, dead or alive. Tupac, Biggie, Jay Z, Nas, and that's not fair because they all kind of in the same era. But I'm gonna do it that way
I mean,
anyway.
it's about taste. You know what I'm saying? At the end
Oh
of the day,
yeah,
it's
that's just my take. Yeah,
Preference.
Wu know that's definitely my take. Tupac, Biggie. I said Jay Z, Nas, and that fifth spot. Ooh, it's so hard. But I'm gonna have to give it to my main man, Don Kennedy. Just for that one, that's my people's choice right
that's
there.
the wild card. Okay.
Yeah, Don Kennedy, because he's a consistent underground independent artist that's like up there with the big dogs to me. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Very cool. How about you, Wolf?
It's okay if I don't. I can go off the grid. Like I can choose gospel, right?
If they rap, go
Never
for it, man.
mind.
Whatever you want.
They not rapping. They more
Uh,
performing. But
I
my
mean,
top five rappers.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you
Um,
can list those other names too, man. Whatever you want to do.
okay. So the first one I was really seen was Fred Hammond. Like I said, I like the way he performed and how he had everybody organized and prepared. Fred Hammond, uh, Keith Wonderboy Johnson. It's another quartet group. He was cold performance live. Then I'm gonna go into hip hop. Like I said, Lil Wayne, just because he had an influence on me back in the day, and then Wiz, just because it was really that Taylor Alderdice. That one really took me by storm.
That was probably
Um,
my favorite from him. That and
Yeah.
Cushion Orange Juice, man. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Cushion Orange Juice, man.
yeah, that
yeah, that
Taylor
was the one.
Alderdice. And then for right now, I'm kind of mad because Future not gonna make the list, bro.
Yeah.
And it's tied. It's like for right now, I'm really in touch with these two artists just because
Okay.
these dudes are so chill, bro, and I'm like a real chill dude. I don't really like too much stuff going on. And one is all right, so they fighting for the fifth spot. It's Currency and Larry June, bro. They going head up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
They
like
When you
going
think
that.
head up.
about
But
Currency,
yeah,
God,
that's
yeah,
a tough one.
I
Currency
got
and Larry
Currency on
June.
right now. You feel me? He
Yeah.
on
Hmm.
pause right now.
Yeah, I detect that currency energy about you too, man. Yeah, I
Hmm.
can see that. I can see that influence. Yeah, man. Currency. Yeah, he's very underrated, man. But he's kind of like he's in his bag though. He's right
He
in
in
pocket though.
his
He's not like a
bag, like
Yeah.
superstar, but he's well respected. Anywhere
I'm
you go in
saying,
Yeah.
hip
and
hop.
he came up, you know what I'm saying, with the Waynes and Stunners and Manny Fresh and them.
He
Hmm.
Like
he
people didn't
definitely
even
is
know that
like,
for real.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Currency was
currency's been
signed to them,
around. Currency's been
yeah, for a
around.
minute.
Yeah, yeah, man. He's put out some dope stuff, man. He continues to put out dope stuff, and
Yeah.
he didn't have to go crazy and get like a big, over marketed, record deal or anything like that. He's kept
Yeah.
himself pretty much independent, I think, most of his career. And he puts out good stuff. Okay, dope. Okay,
Uh,
all right, man. Well, that was wonderful, man. Tell the people where they can find you guys on social media and where they can find your music, man.
okay. Well,
Well,
on
you can
social
find on,
media,
yeah,
go ahead. I was say on
you
social
can find our
media.
dual page.
There you go.
You got it, my boy.
We posted. Basically, it's at Underrated Records.
Yeah.
UNDER 8D Records. That's just at
Hmm.
Underrated Records, and that's on all social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram. My Instagram, Twitter is at Where Is Black. Um, and my music is on all platforms. It's Blaq and Woo. You got it.
Um, I'm transitioning my. I wanna. I don't know. But my IG is the Marcus Nelson Jr. Marcus is with a C. My Twitter is Marcus underscore Tyrone. And then my music is on all platforms, but I'm a new artist, so my debut, you'll find it on Apple and Spotify quickly if you type in my name Woo.
Okay. I'll be sure to I'll get those links from your publishers and I'll make sure that it's in the description of the video too.
Oh,
Yeah, and
oh,
I'll also make sure that your social tags will be in the final video too.
okay. And
Cool.
also, me and Woo are we are dropping our debut project sometime soon. So, as a group, underrated, just me
Can
and
I
him.
drop
So
the date?
go ahead, Woo.
Bro, we're gonna drop it on 2/2/22. Come on, man. We got to.
Got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Got to.
So yeah, we
Okay.
definitely got that on the way too. So
Okay. Yeah, man. I'll have you guys come back, after the project drops, man. We can talk about it.
definitely, definitely,
Uh,
Cool, cool.
you guys you're working on a tour?
we
Yeah, we
actually
are.
are. We actually are. So
We're
Okay.
curating,
we're
trying to hit Houston,
checking
Austin,
our
and Dallas.
algorithms. Yeah, checking our algorithms. See if we're gonna start with our first one, like you just said, the Texas tour, and then after that, we'll see the success and see like where other places that are, that are just rocking with us. Like we check our algorithms and all that, like trying to see how everything is mapping out. So then we're gonna take it outside of Texas after that.
Dope, dope. Well, man, it was great meeting you two young brothers, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Continue to make smart business decisions. Keep everything fresh. And I hope to be able to sit down with you guys 5 years from now and reflect on this time. Like,
Right,
wow, man, look
Right,
at these. I remember these guys when they were on the come up. Now look at them.
right.
yes, sir,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Well, thank you very much, man. You guys know where to find me as your host at No Sympathy for Kings, anywhere you find it. As always, my good people, a lack of discipline may cost you your kingdom. No Sympathy for Kings. Peace out. All right, if you enjoyed that clip, go ahead and watch the full video here and click here for another video you might like. Take care.